It's a beautiful day here. I had the opportunity yesterday to go into town and visit a friend, a couple of friends, and do some shopping and stuff. For us up here in the mountain to do that, it's about an hour and a half away. So while I'm there, I do a lot of stuff. So one of the things I did was go to the 99-cent store and I picked up this Cheddar Herb Biscuit mix. I believe it was a 99-cent product, and it says here, comparable to Red Lobster brand. So I'm going to give it a try. Eddie's been requesting these biscuits. I do have a copycat recipe book that I could have used, and I've seen that's like from scratch. I've also seen the Red Lobster brand biscuit mix for like $2.99 or $3.99. But for 99 cents, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to be serving it with this beef pasta hamburger helper, which I've already made. I'll show that to you. Here it is. All done. So that's going to go in the fridge till he comes back and is ready to eat. While I was in town, I visited a friend of mine who has a little tiny, I don't want to call it a ranch, but like a little farmette or whatever. So she gave me a couple of these big zucchini I'm going to be using for zucchini bread, and some of this beautiful basil. I'm going to make pesto for the pasta with it, and some other stuff. Sunflowers. It was just gorgeous, and it gave me inspiration for my garden next year. So let's get started with our biscuits. Okay, for the biscuits itself, the recipe calls for 3/4 cup of cold water, 1/2 cup shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and 1 package biscuit mix. So I have the cheese already here. I buy big packets of it, shredded cheese at Grocery Outlet, and I just take out what I need out of the freezer. I have 3/4 cup of water. I'm going to pour that in, get that all liquidy, and to open this, I'm going to put the biscuit mix in right now. All right, I finally got that opened, so I'm going to put this in. It says not to overmix, and a lot of times with biscuits and with brownies, it says not to overmix. That means I don't use a hand mixer with it or anything like that, or an electric mixer. I just do it by hand. For some reason, if you overmix it, it destroys the texture afterwards. Once I made the mistake with some brownies, I didn't even realize I'd overmixed them, and they were horrible. They were all greasy and just disgusting to toss them. And who tosses brownies? Really, it's got to be bad. So, all right, that's all in there. I'm going to continue mixing that until it's fully incorporated. I wanted to point out that in the box, there's also this little flavor packaging, and you add it, it's an herb mix, and with 1/4 cup melted butter. And I guess use kind of spread that on top when the biscuits come out of the oven. So right now we're just going to do the biscuits. We're going to bake them. I've preheated the oven to, I think it was 425 as per the instructions, and put parchment paper onto the cookie sheet. It suggested doing that or spraying it with oil. I'm just going to go ahead. It supposedly makes 10 biscuits. I'm just going to see what happens here. Just taking my big spoon and using my clean fingers to pull out nice clumps of dough. Here's the first round completed. They said to wait till they were golden brown on top, and they are very much golden brown on top. It took longer than, I think it said 12 to 14 minutes. It took longer than that. I'd say closer to 20 minutes. But I'm going to lick the whole thing with the parchment paper and put it directly on the cooling rack. I started getting creative, and I think the next round I'm going to do in my cast iron corn stick maker. I never trust it to be fully seasoned, so I added some Crisco to it, quite a bit of Crisco, so they'll fall right out, and we'll see what happens. All right, here's round 2. I had to kind of put them in with my fingers because the batter was so thick. We'll see what happens, how they bake. All right, I just pulled my mock corn sticks with these Cheddar Herb Biscuits out of the oven. They're nice and brown on top. So what I'm going to do is just let them cool for a few minutes and see if they come out, how well they come out of the cast iron mold here. All right, I've gone ahead and plated up some hamburger helper and 3 of the Cheddar Bay biscuits, and I'm going to put some of the herb mixture on top. So I have about 1/4 cup of butter here, and the little package, I melted that. Put the package in there, take a fork, mix it up well, And then they said just to brush this on top. And we'll get a verdict as to whether or not these are at all like the ones at Red Lobster. Oops. Gonna have to go another round with the fork. Not everything got broken up. Alright, take my brush and just brush the top liberally, and we'll see what he says. Eddie just had a busy biker morning, and when he walked in the door, I said, "Are you hungry?" He said yes, he was, and he was really satisfied to see his favorite thing, hamburger helper and the biscuits. What do you think about the biscuits, Eddie?
They look good.
Do they look like the Red Lobster?
Yeah.
Give them a try.
Red Lobsters are a little skinnier, but...
Okay. What do you say? Do they live up to their name?
They do. The texture's a little different.
The texture's different.
But they taste like it.
Are they edible?
Oh, yeah.
How do you think these would be, Eddie, with, if I put, like, made a breakfast biscuit out of those and put sausage in them?
I think you ought to try it because this is good, and that means I get more of them. Ah, dog it.
All right, you happy with your lunch?
Yes, I am. America, don't get used to me looking all prettied up like this. I don't do this often.
You do it all the time. You look great. Enjoy. All right, I took these out of the corn stick mold, and actually they came out pretty well. There was a little bit of residue. Here's what they look like. Eddie said the flavor of these was delicious, but that the ones at Red Lobster were a little airier. So I'm going to have him try one of these because these had like, these weren't fully exposed to the heat. Most of it was inside the corn stick maker, and we'll see if it makes a difference. Okay, I was trying to figure out what texture and how Eddie likes those biscuits better in the corn stick maker, where they're a little maybe lighter, or on the baking tray like Was It By. So what did you think about the corn stick as opposed to the just plain freeform biscuits?
Well, I still think these taste more like Red Lobster than these. These are a little airier, but this is the better biscuit, actually.
That's good to know. But they're all good, and you're going to eat them all, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's all that matters. Enjoy your lunch.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think all in all, these Chedder Herb Biscuit Mix biscuits were good. They were close enough to the real thing. Nothing can be the real thing, and we're not in the Red Lobster commercial kitchen there. We're just at home. But they seem to go over well, and they look beautiful. I took the rest of them and I put the butter on and just put them in a casserole, and Eddie can warm them up as he eats his dinner. One thing I'm going to try next time is to make a breakfast biscuit out of that and put some sausage in, possibly Dollar Tree, that Jimmy Dean Dollar Tree sausage. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll take you along on that journey too. Thank you so much for watching.